Hello and welcome to this edition of FYI Weekly, your official source for City of Greensboro news and information. City Council approved an interlocal agreement between the City of Greensboro and Guilford County for the provision of animal control services and the operation of an animal shelter. The city's estimated expense under this agreement is approximately $875,000. Council voted in favor of a resolution approving a change order in the amount of $83,000 to contract with Freycinet Incorporated for bridge maintenance and repair work. This involves installing 2 temporary bent saddle support assemblies at the Gorrell and Washington Street Bridge. In other council news, the body voted in favor of a resolution approving a bid in the amount of $9.7 million and authorizing executing a contract with Blythe Construction Incorporated for the resurfacing of city streets. The work consists of all labor, equipment, and materials required for both milling and resurfacing of various streets throughout the city. Last but not least, after much discussion, City Council voted 7-1 to acquire the Regency Inn on North O. Henry Boulevard for the purpose of developing the site for affordable housing. The city will reimburse Partnership Homes Incorporated for outstanding operational costs and the release of any city liens. In exchange for reimbursement of this operational cost, the company has agreed to transfer ownership of the Regency Inn site so the City of Greensboro can expedite its plans for redevelopment. The Greensboro Minority and Women-Owned Business Enterprise, or MWBE office, is hosting an open house event for second-tier subcontractors. This is an invitation to learn about the $65 million Windsor-Chavis-Noco Community Complex, which is poised to transform East Greensboro. Interested subcontractors can attend the open house on Wednesday, August 28th from 4:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. at the Nussbaum Center for Entrepreneurs, located at 1451 South Elm Eugene Street. The city hired Samet Corporation as the construction manager at risk for the project. The firm will connect interested second-tier subcontractors with pre-qualified first-tier subcontractors for participating packages for the project. The event will present an opportunity to network directly with industry leaders and peers while gaining valuable insights on how to meet project requirements and MWBE goals. Access the QR code to register. Complimentary food and drinks will be served in a relaxed professional setting. The minimum MWBE participation goals are 17.25% for MBEs and 15.75% for WBEs. The city welcomes as many minority and women-owned firms to participate in this project. Sponsors of the networking event include the City of Greensboro, Guilford County, and Samet Corporation. The city will host a public hearing to gather input from residents about the historic significance of 3 Greensboro properties. The sites include the South Bimbo Road Historic District, the Edward and Frances Lowenstein House at 2104 Granville Road, and the Tanlia Woods House located at 2904 Wynwood Drive. The city's Historic Preservation Commission will conduct the public hearing at 4 p.m. on Wednesday, August 28th. The meeting will be held in the plaza-level conference room of the Melvin Municipal Office Building, located at 300 West Washington Street. Public input is submitted to the State Historic Preservation Office in support of the nominations. The 3 nominations are in the home stretch of being placed on the National Register of Historic Places. South Bimbo would be Greensboro's first historically African-American neighborhood to receive the honor. The Lowenstein and Woods houses are the work of Greensboro's preeminent modernist architect, Edward Lowenstein. To learn what it means to be included on the National Register, attend a meeting with staff from the State Historic Preservation Office. This will take place at 6 p.m. on Tuesday, September 10th at St. Matthew's Methodist Church, located at 600 East Florida Street. For more information about historic preservation, visit the city's website. Cone Health has partnered with the city to share a series of brief and informative videos designed to inspire you to make better choices when it comes to healthy living. Following these tips is an easy way to help each of us improve our quality of life. Let's take a moment to check out today's news for your health.
70% of Americans are overweight, and the majority of them have health issues that would improve with weight loss. So how do you know if your weight is affecting your health? The easiest way is to calculate out your BMI, or your body mass index. You can do that by going online and entering in your height and your weight. It will give you a number. If that number is 30 or greater, it is likely that your weight is affecting your health. When your BMI is greater than 30, it puts you at much higher risk of things like high blood pressure, high cholesterol, heart disease, stroke, kidney disease, arthritis, cancer, and diabetes. In fact, if your BMI is 30 or greater, you have a greater than 300% chance of becoming diabetic. If your BMI is 40, that increased risk goes up to 500%. So if you want to lose weight, the most important thing to start with is to calculate out your resting metabolic rate. That's what most people consider their metabolism, and it tells us how many calories you need to keep your weight the same with a low level of activity. The best way to do that is to take your weight and multiply by 9 if you're a woman and 11 if you're a man. Now that we've calculated out your resting metabolic rate, it's time to figure out how many calories you need in order to lose weight. If you cut 500 calories per day from your resting metabolic rate, you lose approximately 1 pound of fat per week. If you think 1 pound a week isn't significant, you should know that a pound of fat is about the size of a small grapefruit. So losing a grapefruit of fat every week isn't too shabby. Exercising while losing weight is important in order to prevent your metabolism from falling while you're losing weight. Studies show that just 10 minutes a day of exercise 5 times a week is enough to cause health benefits. If you increase that exercise to 30 minutes 5 times a week, you maximize those benefits and you find it much easier in order to keep your weight off. Studies also show that if you exercise more than 30 minutes 5 times a week, you can increase your hunger. That increase in hunger tends to make you eat more calories than you just burned, which defeats the point of exercise for weight loss. Thank you for joining me. Hopefully these tips will help put you on the path for a healthier future. For more information, go to conehealth.com/wellness. I'm Dr. Karen Beasley.
The city will observe National Co-Responders and Crisis Responders Week in a very unique and interactive way, and meet the next artist taking residency at the Hyers. We'll have those stories and more news coming up after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to FYI Weekly. In observance of National Co-Responders and Crisis Responders Week, the Office of Community Safety is hosting a re-entry simulation. The event will showcase the barriers faced by those with behavioral health challenges as they re-enter the community after incarceration. The event will take place from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Wednesday, September 18th at the Simpkins Indoor Sports Pavilion located at 1500 Barber Park Drive. As a re-entry simulation, this experience will allow participants to step into the shoes of justice-involved individuals navigating life immediately after incarceration. Attendees will be assigned personal profiles and adopt a weekly schedule that includes numerous required tasks such as using public transportation, meeting with support groups, completing drug screenings, lack of income, and violating probation. Unlike other simulations, this one will add the experience of those dealing with mental health challenges and/or substance use. The goal is to bring awareness to the prevalence of individuals struggling with these obstacles within the criminal justice system and show how this can pose additional barriers in an already complex situation. Residents who want to participate in the re-entry simulation can register online. Registration is limited to 100 slots. For more information about the Office of Community Safety, visit the city's website. Creative Greensboro welcomes poet and performer Jennifer Tamayo for a residency at the Hyers. She will present In the Meadow of Your Ancestors, a multimedia poetry showcase. The residency includes a series of creative writing and performance workshops and 3 public performances. Plan to attend on Saturday, September 7th, Friday, September 13th, and Saturday, September 14th at 7 p.m. All performances will take place at the Stephen D. Hyers Theater in the Greensboro Cultural Center. All workshops and events are free or pay what you can. In the Meadow of Your Ancestors is a dramatic poetry performance combining poetry, visual media, video, and sound. This explores themes of home, belonging, migration, Black liberation, and Indigenous sovereignty. Each public performance will also feature guest poet-writers who will open the show. The Greensboro Cultural Center is located at 200 North Davie Street. For more information, contact Performing Arts Coordinator Todd Fisher at 336-373-2974. Educator and fiber artist Kimberly Harper offers quilting workshops to facilitate artistic expression, therapeutic release, and the preservation of memory within the African American community. The series, Griots of the Cloth, Storytelling Through Fiber Arts, runs through September 30th as part of GROW, the Greensboro Residency for Original Works. Participants can create their own small quilting projects using Ankara fabric and embodying the Ghana principle of Sankofa, which means to go back and get. Harper's work, as well as those of local African American quilters, will be displayed in the GROW space during downtown Greensboro's First Friday event from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. on September 6th. On Wednesday, September 11th, the residency also features a screening of the film Wax Print, which portrays the history of Ankara fabric. The closing exhibit on Friday, September 27th, will consist of residency participant projects. The GROW residency space is located next to the Davie Street entrance of the Greensboro Cultural Center at 200 North Davie Street. To learn more about the residency, visit the city's website. Winston-Salem State University is celebrating 4 decades of broadcasting jazz over the Triad radio waves. Coming up after the break, we'll introduce you to the general manager and spotlight the station's impact. Stay with us. Welcome back to FYI Weekly. The campus of Winston-Salem State University is home to a radio station that has been steadily increasing its range over the past 40 years. Joining me now to tell us about the community impact made by WSNC Radio is Brian Anthony. He is the general manager of 90.5 FM, Jazz in all its colors. Hello, Brian. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Am I hired? Do I get to be on the radio?
Well, you know, you're with us once a week, every Monday, right before noon, with the calendar for the city.
Yes.
So you're already part of the family.
Well, thank you.
You're
Thank
quite
you for that
welcome.
partnership.
Thank you.
So you are the general manager.
Yes.
Tell us about your career and what led you up to this role.
I started out at Texas Southern University as a journalism major, and I also worked at the campus jazz station, which was also public radio, so that was my first start in radio at a public facility. I moved on into the commercial realm. I worked for the American Federation of Teachers as their statewide editor of their newspaper in Illinois. Wow. And their communication specialist. And then I, figured I'm in corporate America. Things are not always the way that they seem, that we think that they are when we're bright-eyed and bushy-tailed coming out of college. So I said, if I'm going to go through all of this, I might as well do something that I'm passionate about. So I decided to get back into radio. And it's been a 35-plus year career, both in management. I'm a kind of behind-the-scenes kind of person. I hate being behind a microphone, but in order for me to get to where I am now, I had to swallow that fear and learn how to do it. And I can say that I held my own in the markets that I've been in: Chicago, Milwaukee, St. Louis, Houston, and here in Greensboro. And right before I got here, I was in Columbia, South Carolina.
Wow, so
Yes.
you've really traveled quite a few places.
Yes.
And you always bring experiences with each of those places, I'm sure.
Every opportunity you get, you should learn something.
Yes,
You shouldn't be the sharpest knife in the drawer. There's always things that you can learn from that, and I take all of those lessons and bring them to whatever market that I'm in. Not going in saying this is what I'm going to do, but I have to learn the market as well and figure out what the need is and try and address that.
Okay, now what's the mission for WSNC and what are you trying to accomplish within this public realm of radio?
Well, the mission has 4 legs to it. First of all, the university, Winston-Salem State University, deserves, just like any HBCU in any market, to have its own voice and to control the narrative in the market. So it provides Winston-Salem State with that. It's also a training facility for the students and for community members that want to volunteer and learn about radio broadcast. We also preserve an art form that we think is huge, and that's jazz.
Yes.
80% of our programming is focused on jazz music presentation. I remember first getting there and the old public radio format of having a talk show here every 2 hours threw me off.
Yeah.
And I know consistency is what draws your listenership, and when they're accustomed to and expect a certain kind of standard, they stay longer.
Sure.
So I shifted everything, and our public affairs programming is on at a certain time, but 80% of our music from 6 until 7 in the evening is all jazz.
Okay, so what makes radio still relevant, considering we have all of this option for accessing of information and people are just always on the move?
You know, it began in 1996 when they passed the Communications Act in 1996. Corporate entities were able to buy more than one radio station or one TV station in the market. When that took place, of course, corporations started taking over several stations in the market, which are called clusters now. And radio became a little bit watered down. If you think about it, if I own a company, I want all my radio stations to have the same template. If you go from LA to New York, the company that I used to work for, Clear Channel, which is now iHeart, their brand is trying to make sure that all the stations between the East Coast and the West Coast sound the same. What ends up happening is I think each market loses its local identity, where we had these radio stations as our voices in the black community at one time. They're not owned by black owners at this point. So I think public radio lends itself to be able to bridge these gaps, present content and music that's more relevant to the listeners in that particular market. And I think it has a home if it can address those needs in every market. So radio is still the go-to for what people like to find out what's happening in their market.
Okay, so you're holding on to that voice with WSNC.
Absolutely.
Summarize the progress that's been made since your leadership.
Wow. Of course, we adjusted the music presentation. Like I said, 80% jazz. That's helped us to accumulate a growth of 400% of an audience that started off at about 10,000 listeners. We're well over 60 by now. We also added the element, keeping up with technology. Our website and our mobile apps help add to that listenership because, for instance, here where I'm sitting right here in your office, if I pull up, I can hear the static because we have a directional signal. So the mobile apps help people in this area through Bluetooth access to listen to our radio station as well. So we've had that. We've added programming. When I first took over in 2018, we were not doing the broadcast for Winston-Salem State athletics. So now we broadcast football games and basketball games now. We've added a public affairs program that the city of Greensboro has been a part of, Empowering You, that focuses on nonprofits, corporate community initiatives, and events that take place in the community. So that's a part that commercial radio really won't get into, that we thrive in. We take advantage of it, and that's a major part of our public affairs thrust. So
And we're
those type
taking
of
advantage
yeah,
of it too.
absolutely, absolutely. So I love
So
it.
before we run out of time, are there any upcoming events that will be hosted by the radio station?
Yeah, we're always having all nonprofits are always doing fundraisers. We are on a fundraising drive now that's annual. We try not to break up our music programming to stop the music to talk about it. We just remind people through production and announcements on the air. We're looking for sustaining members. Sustaining member is somebody that will contribute $10 a month or $120 a year. And they become a part of input that I take from listeners to help with music and to help with other ideas that can help us achieve what we're trying to achieve as a radio station.
Nice. And you recently celebrated 40 years.
Yeah, last year we had our 40th year on the air. We did a presentation and had all the local jazz artists, probably 6 of them that we consider to be legends. They had never played before together. and we had them play together, offered dinner, and invited a lot of the people that are either on our public affairs programming or corporate partners. We invited them. It was a free event, invitation only, so we had a ball. This weekend, of course, a lot of activity happening in the Greensboro area and Winston-Salem. Our final series of downtown jazz below one of the skylines in Winston-Salem is this weekend. We have Marcus Anderson performing downtown at 6:30 this coming Friday. Also, we have John Coltrane Jazz and Blues Festival coming town, which we are a big part of that. We have stage presence on Saturday and Sunday, and we participate throughout the day on that. We also have a football game coming up, the first one for the Rams. We do our live broadcast as well for that. So we got a lot of interesting things going on this weekend.
Fantastic. Well, Brian, thank you for taking the time with all that you have going on to stop by and share all the great things that are happening at WSNC. And we congratulate you on 40 years, congratulate you on your leadership, and do come back.
Oh, absolutely. And thank the City of Greensboro for you reaching out to us and wanting to partner with us in understanding what our signal does in this area as well. You have to touch all bases when you're trying to get information out, and you guys do a great job of that.
Thank you. Thank you for that additional platform.
Yes, absolutely.
Come back and see us.
Absolutely.
Stay tuned for some interesting and useful information about Greensboro as we tell you something about the city. That segment is coming up after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to FYI Weekly. One way to stay informed about decisions that impact you and our city is by attending or tuning in to City Council meetings at 5:30 p.m. on the first and third Tuesday of the month. The fourth Tuesday is reserved for a meeting as needed. The City Council meetings take place in the Katie Dorsett Council Chamber on Level 2 of the Melvin Municipal Office Building, located at 300 West Washington Street. The public is allowed in person, but only in a limited capacity. Those who choose not to be in the building can participate virtually. The Greensboro City Council meetings are broadcast right here on GTN. The meetings are also streamed live on the city's website and on Roku. To review the council meeting schedule and agendas, please visit the city's website. Here's an opportunity to learn a little something about the city. Earlier this month, the North Carolina General Assembly adopted Senate Bill 9. This bill requires the city of Greensboro to establish a civil service review board. The board will consist of 5 members, one of which will be appointed by the city council. Greensboro residents interested in serving on the board must submit an application by Friday, August 30th. Nominees will be contacted by the Greensboro City Clerk and asked to complete necessary documentation. The City Council will make its appointment in November or December. Residents may nominate a City of Greensboro resident or self-nominate if they want to join the Civil Service Review Board. Serving on a board or commission offers a unique opportunity for meaningful involvement in civic life and a rare opportunity for public service. Applications to serve on a city board or commission are purged after 2 years. To make a nomination to the Civil Service Board, please visit the city's website. Coming up after the break, we'll showcase our department spotlight, but first, prepare to mark your calendars for the places to go and things to do on the town.
I'm Dave, and here are some special events happening this week on the town. Jason Aldean brings his Highway Desperado tour to the Greensboro Coliseum August 29th. Aldean is a 3-time American Country Music Entertainer of the Year with 28 career #1 singles. Find tickets and more information online at greensborocoliseum.com. Celebrating its 125th year, the Central Carolina Fair is back and better than ever. Starting August 30th, guests can enjoy 3 weeks of high-flying, deep-fried fun at the Greensboro Coliseum Complex. The popular Dollar Days are September 5th, 12th, and 15th. Buy advance tickets online at greensborocoliseum.com. A popular laser light show returns to the Greensboro Science Center August 30th, featuring the music of English rock band Led Zeppelin. Enjoy intricate laser displays set to hits like Stairway to Heaven and Over the Hills and Far Away in the comfort of the Omnisphere Theater. Get tickets for one of 3 shows online at greensboroscience.org. August 31st is the month's last Saturday, which means another Dog Day Saturday at the Vance Chavis Branch Library. Join the SPCA of the Triad for a fun time with dogs and other animals. Families who can't own a dog can play with puppies and dogs trained to interact with kids. This free event is for humans only. Learn more at greensborolibrary.org. Stay tuned to FYI Weekly for more happenings on the town.
Welcome back. The City of Greensboro has more than 20 departments and several divisions committed to serving you, our residents, and visitors. Let's go behind the scenes in our department spotlight. In an effort to help effectively manage short-term rentals, or STRs, under the new ordinance, the city now offers a way for residents to report issues of concern in their neighborhood. To report an issue or situation, you can either call 336-387-6137 or submit a report using an online form. Both options are available 24/7. Complaints will be recorded by a third-party vendor who will immediately contact the short-term rental owner or operator of the property in question. The owner or operator will handle the situation from that point forward. Owners and operators of short-term rental must have an approved city zoning permit to operate legally. Since the ordinance took effect earlier this year, the city has received more than 450 zoning permit applications, issued nearly 400 permits, and denied 47 applications. For more information about Greensboro's STR regulations, visit the city's website. Coming up after the break is our Way to Go GSO shout out. Stay with us. As we draw to a close, we always want to end on a positive note with our Way to Go GSO shout out. This week's shout out goes to Guilford Works. The Career Connections hosted another installment of the Trade Train Training Provider Expo. The event focuses on multiple industries and involves training providers and employers eager to assist individuals with acquiring credentials or learning a skilled trade for in-demand careers. Trade Train is a summer series where participants enroll with a training provider or employer best suited to their schedule and desired learning style. Once registered, participants meet with a Career Connections career advisor to determine eligibility for financial assistance. Way to go, Guilford Works. That concludes this edition of FYI Weekly, but you can easily stay connected to the latest city news by linking to us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. Alexa users can subscribe to our 5-minute flash briefings, which airs on 90.1 FM, 100.7 FM, and 90.5 FM. Be sure to download both weekly podcasts, Talk City Greensboro and Connect GSO, plus GTN is streaming on Roku. For all of us here at the City of Greensboro, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.